Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling Review Series. This is the 29th of May, 1982. I've kind of caught up through the end of June, so those will be up tonight, hopefully. We open with Ken Timms and Terry, or we actually open with Wahoo McDaniel and Bill White and a new guy by the name of Reno. I didn't get his first name, but anyway, just an enhancement talent, Wahoo and Morocco in your opening contest here. And again, they are the winners of the western part of the conference for the championship. Morocco here complaining about the winning of the U.S. Championship from Sergeant Slaughter by Wahoo McDaniels. Morocco upset with that just because he believes that it'll take him away from the tag team foray into things. Headlocks and basic stuff by Morocco on the newcomer. Also some ride time by Wahoo McDaniels for a good bit there. Morocco is also toe-to-toe with Bill White, which is a big guy for him to be toe-to-toe with. Gets a body slam off on him. Then we see McDaniel basically getting distracted by Slaughter and a little bit of issues there, or the concept of Slaughter, and again a takedown by Morocco with kind of floats over into toe hold. Basic maneuvers. Morocco much better in the ring during this 82-83 run than he ends up being at later points, and also seeing him in house show matches, he's even better. But Morocco here obviously ends up becoming a heel relatively quickly. Simple maneuvers and a win by or almost a win by Morocco and McDaniels. However, Slaughter does come down and interfere just with a distraction point, and McDaniels not happy with that. Of course, Slaughter also not happy with being the former U.S. champion at this point, allowing the nature of Bill White to get under his skin, and Morocco actually leaves the ringside area after tagging Wahoo back in. The match continues, and Wahoo does get an eventual victory after some takedowns on White, among other things, and gets a big chop. But being without his partner, not exactly the best of things for Wahoo, and Wahoo does kind of say he's frustrated with Morocco for not understanding his obligations as the new U.S. champion. Highlights of that match with Slaughter and the brawling and other such on the floor is there from the arena. And I got to grab my phone, so we'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail to continue this foray. As mentioned, the brawls continue, and it's interesting because they spend a bit of time kind of opening up the heels as main runs, be it Piper or whomever else. Slaughter eventually does roll Wahoo back into the ring, and Wahoo stands and finally gets a chop on Slaughter and eventually gets a victory, of course, winning the U.S. Championship. I think it's good for business to have at least one babyface champion on your roster at the time, and Wahoo certainly having a foray through the AWA, among other places, and big in the Carolinas through the 70s and 80s, so certainly a worthwhile choice there. Then we kind of move into Ole Anderson taking out Jake Roberts. Kind of a bit with the help of the kind of some distraction points. And again, Jake Roberts has been here for a good bit of time. Roberts trying to roll up his man and trying to get a victory there. Clotheslines along the way, and kind of the win there in quick succession. And again, Ole Anderson taking him out. Kernoodle and Nelson are your Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions. Pretty big deal there. They are joined by the Monk, who is their, I guess, eventual 6-man tag team partner, and kind of just getting a little bit of rust out there. Johnny Weaver also talking about the various tag team tournaments and other stuff there. Again, we see the wonder of Jake Roberts being taken out because he's been misted by the Ninja and kind of the mist to the eyes as they did with Jimmy Valiant earlier. So still a bit there, and only Anderson coming in and taking things out. Jimmy Valiant comes back. Speaking of Valiant, he comes back and basically watches over the, I guess, bookings of Jake Roberts. Interesting that they bring back Valiant. Kind of long range storytelling that they couldn't do today if they were paid to do it. But anyway, we kind of go back and another tag team match here that ends up being a kind of a foray into Mike Davis and Johnny Weaver versus Kernodle and Nelson. Davis and Weaver, not exactly the best of teams, but you're trying to fill TV time, which obviously it seems that even in this foray, they promotions struggle to do, because I'm not necessarily seeing where a non-challenging team is where you want to go with a young team. But Weaver manages some head scissors, and I mean, there's a lot of back and forth with the privates of Sergeant Slaughter as far as kind of a brawl. Weaver tries to keep things going, monkey flip and other basic maneuvers along the way there. Side headlocks and continues the brawl. And again, Angelo Mosca says there isn't competition. People make fun of him. The Ninja being under control and taking out Jake Roberts is a thing here. We also see the return of Ivan Koloff, former Mid-Atlantic and television champion. Slaughter is complaining about Wahoo McDaniel taking his championship, wanting the championship back ASAP, and that obviously is a pretty continual thing. They return to the match as there must be a winner mentality continues. Weaver and his partner eventually do fall to the tag team champions, and then Piper is out, and he is yelling long and loud about being happy with the fact that he took out Jerry Briscoe, promising to take out Jack and get back to the Mid-Atlantic Championship is a pretty big part to this. Then we move to the next in the series of matches, which happens to be in this particular run, kind of getting things going here. The Samoans versus Ivan Koloff and the Ninja. Ivan Koloff and the Ninja seems like a weird team, but that is post the damage done by Roddy Piper being reviewed. Piper again going at things pretty unevenly. Various people standing up to Piper as well as the other heels in the area with short promos. The promos in Mid-Atlantic aren't as good as I remember here in 82, but the Samoans coming in, facing off against the Ninja, and Ivan Koloff. Samoans obviously brawling around and being one of the four teams remaining that came out of the tag team tournament for the tag team championship. Samoa's actually a little leaner, and they are taken down by their adversaries pretty easily, or at least the Ninja in an early stage. However, Ninja, has some difficulty in hanging on to the arm of one of the Samoans. Pretty basic brawl. Ninja takes the majority of the match. We finally do see Ivan Koloff come in and hit a backbreaker on one of the Samoans. Just an odd team, and it feels like it's here more to kill time. Jack Briscoe promises in a promo not only to get even with Roddy Piper, but to be a fighting champion. Paul Jones talks about the danger that is only Anderson, among other things, because he's gone at it with Anderson before and did go head-to-head with him a couple of weeks ago on Mid-Atlantic Television. So we'll be back with more right after this.